and welcome back to Football Made Simple. The Champions League has made its return, and we're back with a tactical analysis of the group stage match between Tuchel's PSG and Solskjaer's United at the Parc des Princes. In what promised to be an interesting encounter, the match ended 2-1 to United, thanks to a Fernandes penalty and a Rashford winner, whilst Martial's own goal spoiled De Gea's clean sheet. The XG indicated it was a fairly even game, 1.55 to 1.45, and it did take a moment of magic to win it. But what tactics did both managers use? Let's take a look. And a huge shout out to everyone supporting FMS on Patreon. If you want to consider joining the Patreon, head on over to patreon.com/footballmadesimple and you get early access to videos, exclusive videos, and much more. A quick reminder of the formations used by both sides, as seen on the OneFootball app. OneFootball will get you match updates, formation updates, as well as player and team stats, and so much more. And the best part is, you can get it absolutely free through the sponsored link in the description below. Let's start by looking at what PSG did on the ball, as they had the majority of it, with 61% possession. From goal kicks, when United sat in a higher block, Keylor Navas generally looked to chip the ball to the fullbacks, who were the free options. And in open play, from deeper areas we did see similar patterns initially. The United front two would press the centre-backs, and Fernandes being deeper on Danilo, making it harder to progress centrally. But on the left-hand side, Mbappe would stay high and wide initially in this phase, which would take up Wan-Bissaka at times, thus freeing the outlet pass into Kurzawa. But PSG were determined to make attacking inroads down the left-hand side. So to increase the overloads that they had in these regions, we did at times see a central midfielder, either Gay or Danilo, drop into the left centre-back position. This would then free Kurzawa to become the de facto left winger, whilst Mbappe moved more centrally. This would also allow Neymar to move deeper into the midfield to pick up the ball in space, from where he could look to create, which we did see a lot of. From here, he often looked to drive up the pitch in this inside left channel, and as always, he looked to take on men in this zone, and he did cause them problems with a game-high 4 completed dribbles. But as the match went on, United began to be more proactive, with tracking PSG's build-up play in deeper areas, particularly the movements of the PSG forwards when they were dropping deep. We would at times see Wan-Bissaka drop to pick up Neymar deeper, or alternatively, Tuanzebe could push deep, and the back five would seamlessly shift across to form a back four, whilst preventing the midfield overload. So, at the halfway mark, we saw Tuchel aim to adapt, switching from the 4-3-3 to a more dedicated 4-2-3-1, with Moise Kean being the central attacking outlet. In addition, in the first half, Di Maria played more like a traditional winger, hugging the touchline, and in the second half, we saw him take up the attacking midfield position more often. This had a few key effects, primarily meaning PSG operated with a double pivot now, and Neymar had even more license to roam, with Di Maria taking up his attacking midfield position. Neymar primarily roamed by shifting deep into the left-hand channel, but this did create problems. With Mbappe tucking in whenever Neymar dropped deeper, Kurzawa still looked to push high up to provide the width. In the first half, Gay dropping would have provided some cover on the left-hand side, but with only a double pivot, PSG dropped a midfielder deep less often, meaning that Kimpembe had to shift left to cover the space. Neymar is a risk-taking player, so at times his attempted passes from these deep regions resulted in turnovers in dangerous zones, and Rashford would be able to utilize his pace against a sub-optimally positioned Kimpembe, leading to most of United's chances. But the new PSG shape also gave them a few advantages, primarily getting more men between the lines, and with Di Maria central, this would create an overload. And Mbappe would also come in central, drawing Wan-Bissaka, so this would open up space for Kozawa on the overlap, and he had the second most attempted crosses for the side, with 6. This may have been why Solskjaer switched to a midfield diamond, as the additional body gave them more balance in midfield and reduced the space between the lines. But how about United? What did they look to do with their 39% possession? Well, when they were still using the 5-3-2 in the first half, they generally struggled to hold on to the ball. At times, they did manage to get out from the pressure, however. PSG in their high block were well positioned to press United centre-backs man-to-man. However, Neymar wasn't active in the press, so it was effectively more like a 3 vs 2 instead. So at times we saw United push Tejas right up the pitch as a winger to provide the width, whilst Shaw shifted into the left-back zones to provide the width. At times, Herrera would push higher to cover Shaw as the free man, but with Rashford higher up the pitch drawing in the fullback, the longer ball to Tejas was still an option. And because United were generally short in midfield, we did see Martial often look to drop deeper to link play instead. However, Solskjaer's shift to the 4-4-2 diamond in the second half really helped to kick United into gear when in possession. With PSG having shifted to the 4-2-3-1, with Neymar as the attacking midfielder, whose defensive work rate is pretty low, PSG effectively only had Danilo and Herrera in midfield. Pogba and Fernandes were positionally fluid, continually switching and looking to find different spaces, and because of the numerical advantage, United kept the ball fairly easily and could transition behind the PSG midfield. And this indirectly contributed to the winner. When Fred has the ball, United now have an extra man free between the lines in Pogba. Rashford has dropped deeper into the space vacated by Danilo as he looks to shift across on the cover. Rashford gets on the ball, and though Danilo tries to make up the gap, he gets away and scores. Overall, in a closely contested match, United will be delighted to begin the campaign with a solid win. But what else did you notice in the game? Drop it down below and start a discussion. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, a like would go a long way. And a special thanks to all my Patreons, including Adam Lace, who has recently joined the Ultra tier. But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.